everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you guys are here. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tanjanika. I'm the CEO of Tactical Tangerine, and I'm gonna bring you guys a little closer. There we go. And we bring you to a news you can use. Okay, so as you come on in, please hit the like button and I don't know. Today I didn't even like rehearse anything. I didn't write anything down. So I apologize in advance. Thank you in advance for um, your grace and your understanding as I try to find my words, right? As I try to figure out what needs to be said in this situation, and we'll get into all of that. But thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for coming in. And as you come in, tell me your name, where you're from, so that we can get to know each other and so that we can have a proper introduction. I'm not going to start talking about anything that I'm doing until maybe after this, or you can check the description box below. But anyway, so here we are. Um, let's talk about, hi, Brian Bridges. Let's talk about who I am, first of all. Let's talk about who I am. And I always talk about this. Can't wait to finally meet you this weekend, sis. Me too, Big J. Me too. I always talk about, who I am because I get a lot of new supporters. And so, um, they don't know my background or my dog in this fight, that type of thing. So if you guys don't know who I am, again, my name is Tanjanika. I'm a certified firearms instructor. I'm certified in all 50 states. I am a certified Glock armorer. So I can fix Glocks, I can customize Glocks, I can break them down and put them back together. And also, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I did 2 tours in Iraq, and that was actually my introduction to firearms. So, uh, hi from Nashville. I'll be in Nashville very, very soon, Lawrence Lilly. So, so that's my dog in this fight, right? And so, with that being said, with all the things that are going on in the world, I think it's responsible for us to address it, but I think it's irresponsible for us to um, have have formed an opinion without all the facts, right? And I feel like what's been happening in the world, meaning a few weeks ago, our New York family suffered a tremendous loss. It was last week. Our New York family took an horrific lost. They were viciously and unprovocably attacked for no reason at a grocery store, just doing something super basic that all of us take for granted and all of us do. And I was actually looking at so I pulled up the names of the victims, and the oldest victim was 86 years old. Her name was Ruth Whitfield, and she was 86 years old. And my grandmommy isn't even 80 yet. She's still in her 70s. She's pretty young. But when you look at the ages, it's 86, 77, 62, 55, 67, 52, 72, 53, 32, and 65. Those were the ages of the victims in New York. So, first of all, my sincere condolences to everyone that's lost anyone through, violence that wasn't provoked, or they did absolutely nothing to deserve the outcome that they got. So let's start with, it doesn't even matter how we got here, we are here. We are here. Okay, so that happened last week. And then just yesterday, there was an attack at a school in Texas. Um, and 21 people were killed, and 19 of them were children. And so, also my background, I don't have any kids. And so I think I went through my whole day, right? Just going through my day. I was aware of what was happening, but I didn't, know how to respond. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know all the facts. And when I first got the news, it was 10 people, and then it continued to grow. So last night around about 1 a.m. to around 3 a.m., the news had me in a chokehold. Like, I couldn't go to sleep. I had to find out information. I wanted to figure out what was going on. And it just was like, it wasn't a good idea. I should not have done it. And I don't recommend, putting that trauma on yourself but I also recognize how you can't ignore it, right? And so where we are today is we have babies. We have actual third and fourth grade babies who are no longer with us. Again, unprovoked, did absolutely nothing but existed, and it was through a firearm. It was by a firearm, and it was by a firearm that I respect, that I use regularly, that I train with, that I got my introduction to firearms on, and so I recognize the devastation that it can cause. I will not sugarcoat it. I'm not going to beat around the bush about this, right? So I recognize that the lives that were taken and the lives that even survived, their lives are changed forever because of this tragedy. The children who survived that, who were part of that situation, children watching around the world, people watching around the world. Like I know people are terrified to leave their home, let alone go somewhere like the movie theater or grocery store, etc. So lives have been changed by um, what we're experiencing or what we're seeing going on right now. Um, okay. So it's always like, Tangi, how do you feel about this? People call me, people want to know. They know how I feel about firearms. They know my background. They know Virginia Bushcrafter Gang Gang, Crystal Gang Gang. People know my background. They know how I feel about things, and they always want to know how I feel about these particular situations. And so I'm a Libra, which that means is like my skills. I see things on both sides at all the time, right? And thank you so much, Teflon Don. I see both sides of everything. And even though I have an extreme love, actual love for my firearms and for the message that I'm sending and for the things that I'm saying to people, and the message has always been gun safety, get training, be prepared, stay trained, stay tactical. That has always been my message to everyone. And with that being said, I feel like my new message is do what's best for your family. Do what's best for you and your family. And if that means like you don't believe in this and you think that they should all be banned because this is what's going to happen continuously, then that's how you feel. You're not wrong for feeling that way. Chris, are you a Libra too? We always look at things from both sides. I think we're the most objective humans on the planet, right? Because I truly, I mean, to cause such mass devastation in such a short amount of time is, I almost don't want to go into details because the last time I tried to talk about anything, they shut me down. It was just a lot, and they suppress, and they don't. I guess they don't know who's speaking positively, who's speaking negatively. Negatively, they don't know who's doing what, so they just shut all of it down. And I don't think that's progressive either. I don't. So I'm just gonna watch my words and I'm gonna watch what I say, but you know what I mean. And when I say you are entitled to feel how you feel about the devastating loss that we've suffered as a community, the devastating loss we've suffered as Americans in our country, you are entitled to feel that way. I think that responsible firearms owners, we always it's always it always hurts different, I think, with us. And I only say this because here we are promoting responsible use. Here we are saying that everyone should have them. Here we are saying that, we support this, and then things like this happen, and then we're the ones looking like we're the bad guy, and that's not what it is. I don't want to speak for anyone else, but I'll speak for myself when I say, um, I will always believe that this is the great equalizer. I will always believe that if the opportunity presents itself and someone, a good guy, a good responsible firearms owner, is confronted by a bad person who is out to do massive harm and massive damage and massive uh, chaos and destruction, that is an equalizer, right? Even not to say that person's gonna win, not to say that person's gonna whatever the case, but that person, if he knows that someone else is equal to him is equal to him, he would not only think about his actions, but I believe that he wouldn't do it. And when I look at the ages of all the people that were affected in New York, and then when I think of the ages of the babies, whew, um, that were affected in Texas, you see there's a pattern, right? There is an attack on the vulnerable population. There is an actual attack on them. And what the problem is the people, let me continue to choose my words correctly. What I'm saying is they know what they're doing. I don't know how any other way to say it. They know what they're doing. They know exactly who to attack, and so what I'm saying is I would never say with 300 million firearms in existence within the United States to realistically think, even if we pass legislation tomorrow, right? If we acted quickly and we pass legislation tomorrow to round up all of these firearms, the the reality of collecting all of them, of destroying them, of processing them, of getting them in the right hands, of not having a corrupt whoever, corrupt government, corrupt whoever, not taking them and reselling them to something else, or um, rounding all of those 300 million up and destroying them all. I just truly don't understand how realistic we think that is, how possible that is. We are understaffed everywhere. We are ill equipped. We are unorganized. We are not prepared for anything in this country, medical wise, survival skills wise, zombie apocalypse wise, when it comes to anything, right? And so, to realistically think that we can round up all of these firearms and destroy them or do whatever we need to do with them, I think is an unrealistic goal that cannot be accomplished. And even going toward that is going to cause so much. Uh, it's, I'm not even gonna say that. I think that's super unrealistic. But what I will say is, if we equipped and the thing is, right, all of these issues are mental health issues, right? These are all in recent times, all of these firearms have been purchased legally, and all of these firearms have done the background check. They've done everything that they needed to do to legally possess these firearms. So if they've done all of these things and they passed all of these tests, right? And I've done the exact same things that they've done, and I've passed all the tests that they've taken. I have never, ever, ever, not once, as a responsible firearms owner, thought about going in anything, anywhere, and causing massive destruction. Um, and massive pain to complete strangers. That's never crossed my mind. It's never crossed my mind, right? It's never crossed my friends' minds, all the people that I know who support me, all the people who are just like me. I never, ever, 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 ever thought of that. They've never, ever, 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 ever thought of that. So if the people that purchase these legally, right, if we can't tell who's mentally whatever and who's not, and they do all the things that I do, realistically to me, is to make, because we can't tell who's who, right? And so I'm just saying, if those people know that the people on the other side that they're going to attack have the same thing that they have, they would absolutely think twice. And if they didn't think twice, they wouldn't get as far. They wouldn't cause as much damage. Another thing that I am really concerned about is and I'm truly not gonna try to make this about race, but what I will say is, in our communities, in the Black communities, we have metal detectors in our schools. Um, They go through, they walk the line, they get scanned, they get patted down, they get prepared. It's called a school to prison pipeline for a reason. They get, ready. They get prepared for what could potentially happen in the future, right? And they're used to this procedure, this protocol. They're used to this. They're used to this, right? And so when you look around the world or around the country and you look at other communities who don't do this, this is where this is happening. This is where this is happening. Um, I and I also understand the argument of teachers are not being paid to carry firearms. They're not being paid to do this. They're coming there to teach. They're coming there to prepare the next generation for the world, right? That's what the education system is supposed to do. But what if a teacher did have a firearm? What if she was allowed to have it on campus? What if she was trained? What if she was allowed to exercise her constitutional right to bear arms? And at the first sound of gunshots, she knew what to do and she was prepared and she got her students ready. And as soon as he walked in the door, the great equalizer presented itself to him. What, like what if that had happened? And so I just think it's weird, right? And I promise you, I wasn't like this till it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm binge watching the news because I don't watch TV at all. I don't even have a TV in my room. I don't watch television at all. I think it's so toxic, right? And they tell you how to feel. They literally tell you what to feel and how to respond. And I don't want that. I never like that. I want to form my own thoughts, my own opinions, my own everything. But when you think of someone who fixed their baby's breakfast that morning and kissed them goodbye, and I don't think you can explain that to me. And I don't even have no kids. I don't even have none. You can't explain to me that my baby ain't coming home no more. You you better tell me something different. You better fucking tell me something else. So I think this is a very interesting conundrum that we're at. And when I say interesting, it's not making light of the situation. It's saying that I still don't believe we need to get rid of them. I still don't. And so my dad is like, well, what's the answer? What's the solution? And I'm just like, that ain't it. Because if you think that you're going to round up 300 million, no, I think everyone should have them. And everyone should be trained. And then lunatics will think twice. And I say that as my thoughts and beliefs, but statistically, you can see that backed up in areas that have constitutional carry and that allow citizens to exercise their 2A rights. Because I'm into legislation, education, I'm into statistics, I'm into data. And every state that has done this, the numbers have gone down. Now, mind you, surrounding that is the fact that I think was, especially yesterday, the school situation was, I don't know if it was random. We don't know anything right now. And I'm not going to speculate or guess or whatever, but he had just committed a crime at his house. Can you imagine hurting your grandmommy? Can you imagine? Can you wrap your mind around? I can't. I wash my grandmommy's feet. Like I play with her toenails. Like that's how much reverence I give to her. I just want her around forever. I'm thinking about the day she closed her eyes and don't open them again. I can't imagine. So he had already snapped before he got to the school. And when he crashed his vehicle, I think that was just a response. Like he just ran in there and it was, it, You're not supposed to understand the mind of a psycho. I don't think. I don't think you're supposed to understand how this happened. What you can only do now is respond, and and obviously look at me, right? Obviously we're emotional right now as a country, and I'm a straight empath. Everything affects me, right? And that's why I don't watch TV. That's why I can't handle this, right? I can't handle it. But what I'm saying is like, if you allow, without actually sitting down, processing and thinking about it as a reasonable and prudent adult, if you don't sit down and use your mind and your brain, you will allow people to tell you what to think. And as a person with my credentials and my background and, the 300 million plus, I think it's more realistic for you to start training, for you to think that you are going to be able to round all of these up and take these from responsible humans who simply want to just leave the house and return home to their families, and who truly in their hearts believe that by carrying and that by equalizing the situation that they're able to do that. I don't think you're going to realistically be able to convince people, generations of people who've been. Now, I just got into this. This wasn't even part of my conversation 5 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe even 3.5 years ago. I didn't give a shit about this conversation. It was every time something happened, it happened, and it didn't affect me. But now, when you know better, you do better. And now I know, as a Black woman, as someone who lives in the United States, who read the Constitution, who understands the climate that we're in, for a person that understands training and structure and backgrounds, and who's done the right thing, who filled out all the paperwork and did everything that she was supposed to do. I still stand beside what I stand beside. And I feel like that's okay. And I feel like now, last week, I basically was like, if you feel this way, then, and it was, listen, now is my new message is, do what's best for you and yours. Do what's best for you and yours. And if you think getting rid of everything is best, and you don't want anything in your house and you don't want to be around it, I don't think you should infringe on others' rights who want it in their home. Um, but I think we have a lot of buzzwords going around right now, like common sense, firearm control. Like, it's like, in the history of everdom, have they gotten control of anything? Like, when you, as a reasonable and prudent adult, like, I'm literally not minimizing anything. I want you to understand where we are. Did they get control of the panorama? Did they get control of that? We still ain't got control of that. Did they get control of education and student loans and healthcare? They they have zero responsibility to protect you. Um, and the only reason they will is so that you can vote them in. They need your vote. They need your bodies. They need to show the illusion of inclusion. Um, and we're all the pawns. We're really, like, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, this is a horrible situation for all of us as responsible, uh, as a responsible 2A content creator, event planner, and trainer. This is not a good week, month. This is not a good day for us, because we too are just like, what the? We just trying to, like, live our lives, and come, and then now people are looking at us like, see, we told you, we know, and we're like, we have never condoned this behavior ever. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't even act like this. So why would you think we condone this? We don't. But what we're saying is that ain't gonna fix it either. We're telling you that because we have this, the chances, the likelihood of this happening to us are reduced. Not saying it won't, I'm saying they're reduced because we equalize the situation. If you come at me with a gun, I'm coming at you with one back every time. Currently, right now on the books, there is a law for murder everywhere. It's wild because in all 50 states, you're not allowed to take the life of others. You're not allowed to do it. I don't give a fuck who you are. I mean, if you got power and stuff, that's a whole nother conversation. But realistically, theoretically, legally, you are not allowed to take the lives of others. And yet, here the fuck we are. Here the fuck we are. And so, what I'm saying is, if those laws exist and the people know these laws exist and they don't give a fuck about those laws, what do you expect the people who do abide by the laws to do? I just want you to think about it. I just want you to, what are we supposed, so if all of them were taken tomorrow, they pass legislation and they say, even if we give up ours as responsible firearms owners, do you think the criminal is going to be like, well, Biden passed this bill yesterday and I'm going to go and go turn mine in. It ain't even registered. I done scratched out the serial number. I didn't change the barrel. I didn't did all this stuff to the trigger. I didn't upgrade it. I didn't did all this stuff, but I'm gonna turn it in because that's what they asked me to do. I it's never a good conversation. It's never a good way to say it. It's never a good way to discuss it. It's never easy. It's not going to be easy. How do you sit down with your children at the table and talk about what happened, what they saw, what they heard? How do you have these conversations? And maybe we can discuss it, but I just want you to realistically think about what the solution could be and what it couldn't be. Excuse me. Because if the laws exist now and people are not abiding by the laws, what do you expect law abiding citizens to do? That is your question. And I need an answer in the comments below. And I need it to be super respectful and helpful because we're solutionary over here. Shout out to Maz Ture. We're solutionary over here. We're going to come up with some solutions. How can we help? How can we get people to understand that listen, we are equally as affected by these tragedies as you are? However, we do not believe that the answer is to relinquish power and control over our autonomy to a government that has not protected us anyway. Right? And so, what you're basically essentially asking us to do is to become criminals too. If you come in and take all of the things, we signed the paperwork, we filled out everything, we did the background check, you know who we are, where we stay, what we do. We've never ever crossed our minds to go into anywhere to attack any for any reason for under any circumstances. We've never done that. We've never even discussed that. All we talk about is train, practice, get a plan together, situational awareness. We literally discuss all of these things, and yet here we are. Here we are. So again, you're entitled to feel however you want to feel about this. Um, and I'm gonna pull up the questions and stuff. So, um, it's heavy, you know. It's heavy. It's super heavy, and mind you, this weekend, right, is extremely exciting for us in the Black 2A community because we're going to celebrate our freedom and our expression of said freedom around our love for firearms. That's realistically what we're doing and what's happening. And I can recognize and understand how some people would think this is not the right time to do this. I can understand how some people would think this is inappropriate to even discuss. I can understand how some people think that this is not something to celebrate. Um, But to my 2A people that will be with us this weekend, we need this. We need this. Our souls, our spirits, we need this. We need each other right now. And this is no different from any other community that's been affected by any other tragedy. They lean on each other, they hold hands, they got each other's back, they protect each other, they they stand up for each other. We have to. We have to because um because no one else is going to understand where we're coming from. No one else is going to recognize the importance of us meeting this weekend. No one's going to celebrate our accomplishments the way we will for each other. No one's going to do that. And so we have to come together this weekend. We have to break bread. We have to remember why we're doing this because a lot of all of this can affect us in such a way where we be like, you know what, they right. And then and that's perspective, right? That's perspective. However, comma, you are not them. You are not these maniacs and these we are not them. We are not that. And I refuse to make somebody let someone make me believe that. I won't. I will not. I don't know what everybody else gonna do, but you're not gonna make me take the blame for some fucking psycho who ain't got no goddamn nothing, no soul, no nothing. I can't. When I hit something in the street and run it over, it bothers me. It fucking like fuck. I ain't mean to hit that squirrel. Fuck, I ain't mean to hit that possum. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I've almost gotten in a car accident trying to avoid a goddamn animal running in the street. I would never. But what I will do and what I am prepared to do is defend myself, my family, and those that I love in any fucking situation. I am prepared to do that. And so that's what we've always said. That has always been our message. And so with that, we have to meet this weekend. We have to be together. We have to regroup and re-strategize. And I will ask for the 2A community to step up more. I will, myself included, 100% myself included. Um, we're not training enough, I don't think. We're not offering enough information widely to the public um, on their rights and what they could do different and how this could be prevented, avoided, or minimized. Or minimized. Because if one teacher, even one, you don't, and in these type of situations, you almost don't even have to hit back. If you got something coming your way, you ducking, you're running out of there. Do you understand me? It's the great equalizer. It is. And I don't know anything else. I can't think of anything else. If you try to do the right thing and you ask them and you wait for, law enforcement to come, that's 3 to 5 minutes in a good neighborhood. This took seconds to do. This took seconds, and therefore, there is absolutely no way that you can possibly think that getting rid of all of them will prevent this from ever happening again. I can't possibly see how you see that. But again, my new message to everyone is do what's best for you and yours. If you believe that, we shouldn't, then that's your belief. And if you believe we should, then that's your belief. I will no longer be telling anyone anything because, everyone got an opinion about stuff. And it's to the point it's so divisive and so counterproductive. Like, it ain't even a solution. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even a real fucking solution. The first gun laws will restrict black citizens, their 2A rights, and subsequent Restrictions are always applied to minor 100% and never address the issues. We are not them. Do not give up your guns under any of that. I'm trying to, I don't, even if you pass the bill tomorrow, do you honestly think law abiding citizens are going to just voluntarily drive to DC and drop them off? Like, what? I can't for the life of me imagine what you think this is going to do, or how this is a solution, or how this can help, or how this is common sense. Like, even that terminology is like, common sense to who? Did you ask the criminals? Was this common sense to come in a fucking school, to come in a grocery store, to come in a church, to come in a movie theater, to come into a concert festival? Did you ask them? Was it common sense to do that? No. You never know what to say or do in these situations, and I would never, ever, ever cast blame on the victims or anything like that. I will say I just read the ages of the victims in New York, and we know for a fact that the victims in Texas were third and fourth graders. These are soft targets, and these are vulnerable members of our society. This is our vulnerable population. This is our first and our last. This is not our middle, because our middle is with the shit. Our middle carries. Our middle ain't playing with you. Our middle is the average adult in the United States is 37 years old. They not playing. We're not. Listen. So I don't want you to allow politicians, whoever, whatever side, to make you feel any way about this. I want you to literally think about this, maybe even write your thoughts down, but uh I don't understand what I don't understand any other solution except give everybody guns. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see any other solution other than give them fight. Do you see what's happening in Ukraine right now? They took them all, and now they need the citizens to stand up. Now they need the citizens to, and they're untrained. They haven't even touched the. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what's happening right now in the world? It's not even just our United States; it's the world. So to give up your right to have the great equalizer, and then they come back later and say, oh, we need your help because this country is invading, this country's invading, this country's circling the border of the West Coast. This they're doing this. They're coming in from they're coming in from. I need you to. I need you to realistically think about. It's not even just a maniac you have to worry about. It's so much more. It's a maniac, it's invasions, it's loose wild dogs and animals. It is, it's so much more than just we want to carry around and we want to, it's more than that, y'all. And I want to leave by saying this. I did not know what to say. I just knew that I had to say something, you know? Like I couldn't ignore it. And I couldn't pretend like it didn't affect me. Um, and I can't also act like I agree with the direction that they want to go in response to it either. Do you understand? I want to be very clear about that. I still will never agree to them being the ones in charge of my safety, my family's safety, my loved ones' safety. I I still don't think that's the answer either. So uh, I think y'all are the dopest, and I didn't even come on here to be crying and stuff. I really didn't. I just is wild. This is wild. It's too late for gun control. It's just too late. Like when you like December 2020 when the first got here. October. I know people who said October 2020 they was sick and they ain't know why. It was too late then. It got out. It had already got out. Do you understand what I'm saying? The firearm bag is bust wide open. Let me tell you what I did yesterday. I went to an event. I went to two events yesterday. And I was having a conversation. I always talk about firearms with all the people. And at this time, I think we weren't even, the incident hadn't happened in Texas, or we hadn't heard about it nationwide just yet. And I was talking to a young lady, and she was like, "Oh my God, I want to get my niece trained. I'm, single white lady." Because my clients be the fuck all over. Okay. So she was like, "I'm single. And, I had a firearm. I had a Glock with a suppressor on it. And I left it in my car. And someone took it." She was like, "They didn't break in. I left my doors unlocked." I was like, I was flabbergasted. I was fucking flabbergasted. I was just like, first of all, I think it's an inside job because, like, what? But I ain't say that to her then. I was just like, I ain't got time to play with her. Like, what? You left a suppressor in the car? I was like, "Do you know how long it takes to get?" She was like, "It took me 10 months to get it." It took me 12 months to get four. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you think I'm gonna just leave them somewhere? Think I'm gonna just randomly, like, in my car and not in a box, not in nothing, a suppressor? I say all that to say she tells me it's been taken out of her car. So now there's a random ass suppressor on the street that's probably been sold by now to someone else. So now, so now what? Do you think the bad guy's gonna turn it in when they change the legislation? Do you think they're gonna, the number one thing stolen out of cars has been firearms? What I'm saying is they got him. They got him. When I say they, I mean criminals. And they, meaning criminals, ain't gonna turn them hoes in when everybody asks for them to come. And you can do common sense. You can do this the best way. You can do, I hope everyone agrees, laws. I don't give a damn what you call them. But the criminal is not going to turn in voluntarily something he done stole the hell already. Because last time I checked, robbery was a crime too. Stealing is a crime too. And yet every goddamn day, rape is a crime. Armed robbery is a crime. Home invasion is a crime. And yet here the fuck we are. I dare you to look up your county's numbers. I dare you to look them up. How many violent crimes have happened? How many in-home break-ins? How many car break-ins? How many home invasions? How many? And now they breaking in your home, taking your life because they ain't using no mask or nothing. They not putting on no gloves. They not trying to be careful. They don't even give a damn no more. Like, this is a different, like, I think we're so on the edge, and I mean everyone. I mean everyone, good, bad, and ugly. Everybody on the edge. I would never minimize the situation. I would never deduce this to something that we should just shrug and like sweep under the rug. I would never do that. I would never do that. And again, I'm not a parent, but I have nieces, I have nephews, I have children in my life. You cannot explain no shit like that to me. You can't explain that to me. So we will continue this conversation another time when we have more facts, when our feelings are more in control, under control, when we're not as emotional. And I say we, I'm talking about me. We can have this conversation another time, but right now it's just like I just needed to come on here and say like I get both sides. And however you feel is however you feel, and you're entitled to your feelings. Hard stop. Hard stop. Hard stop. Because it's just fucked up either way, you know? It's just fucked up either way. Like, you looking at me crazy, and I'm like, I'm doing this for my protection. I'm doing this because I don't believe that you're going to get there fast enough. I'm doing this because they think shit is sweet until somebody come up with what they got, and then they're like, "Oh, okay. I don't even want no smoke. I know you don't. Because I ain't want none. But since you brought it to me, since you brought it to me, you know?" since you brought it to me, well armed guards in every school is a must. That's a perspective. That's a way too. And no one's ever thought about the trauma that puts on kids in the black community. So I feel like that may be an answer too. Like it literally is happening in a certain demographic in school. So if we have it everywhere, maybe not. Evil can be legislated. You know, um, we do have serious mental health issues in this country. Um, we have serious mental health issues in this country. Serious, serious, serious. Um, People get shot in Chicago every day, and the media doesn't care. They do evoke the emotions that they want to. Like the media is powerful. Is the media is wild. Like the media is very very wild. Um, and I'm gonna go back through these, and I'm gonna really like look at these um comments because I really love the fact that y'all are engaged and y'all are talking to me, and I don't take it for granted. I just think I'm a little emotional right now, and I just don't want to respond to something in a way that could be misconstrued because that happens a lot. Like I made a post and they was like, "You're so insensitive," and I'm just like, for my people, that's like that time they called me a coon. I was like, "What? Y'all have no idea like how hard I'm ready, willing, and able to ride for y'all," and it's just like when it's not reciprocated, it's just like, what's the point? What's the point of me fighting for y'all to bear arms and exercise your rights when you think we should give them up any goddamn way? You think everyone should turn them in, and the whole time we the only ones that don't got none. It's just weird to me, and so I just try not to respond in a way that could like. But that's the story of my life anyway. I'm always misunderstood, and it just is. But I don't want to ever sound insensitive, that type of thing. But um, you guys, like this, let me go get my shit together and let me go about my day. This weekend is a big deal for me. Um, it's a big deal for me. And so for me not to be excited and like for me not to be able to really go into this, the way I wanted to, like feeling amazing and like now it just feels like oh no. Oh no. And I'm not gonna let them, but I'm just saying like we need this weekend, y'all, more than you think. We do. We need this shit way more than this is more than this is wild. This is absolutely insane what's happening right now. And like I was literally looking at like the Bahamas and looking at different countries to go move to because I just don't need this stress. Like when you've been to war for real, it's just like child, let me just find a little island real quick and get the hell on. Cause like, what am I doing all of this for? Like, what is the point? Like, what is the like, so that has really been on my heart and on my ministry just to move, like, find a little tranquil island and move by the water. So I'll keep y'all posted on that. Cause like for real, like for real. Like for real, this shit is stressful. This shit is stressful. Trying to convince people that you ain't them and trying to convince your people that you need to be armed like them is just stressful. It's just you in the middle looking crazy. You looking fucking crazy, and I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. So we need. I can't wait to see you all this weekend. I can't wait for us to hug and love on each other. Um, for us to get that renewed energy and for us to continue to fight another day. That's what I can't wait. So everybody coming to Nashville, I love you. I can't wait to see you. And everyone who can't make it, it's all good. We'll see you next year. God willing, universe willing, we'll see you next year, I see you as a strong and caring woman who happens to speak her mind and not sugarcoat things. Peace to you. Oh my God, thank you, because that's literally who I am. We ain't looking at you like you crazy. We look at you like a true smart person. Thank you, Virginia Bushmaster. I'm trying to tell you, just don't even. I'm paying for your range fee at the gun range. Oh my goodness, look at that. Helpful. Thank you. Ronald Turner, look at that. Somebody paying for your stuff. The car breaking in real bad here in Nashville. Oh, it's so bad everywhere. It's so bad. The modern purge, no, for real. It's so irresponsible to leave firearms and its components just lying around. It's so irresponsible, Ronald. When she told me that, I was looking at her like, because everything shows up on my face, and I was like, Tangie, chill. But it was just like, first of all, I was in pain. Like, it pained me. Because if you ever filled out paperwork for a fucking suppressor, you know how long it takes, how gruesome it is, how you just want it and you can't get it, how they have to hold it like you a fucking kid at the store that you bought it from, and you have to go up there and be like, can I borrow my own toy, please? Can I see it? Can I train with it? It's like, who the fuck are you? I paid the money already. But you got to wait for someone else to give you approval and permission to utilize something that should be like, if you got the right to, like, what are we discussing? So anyway, so for her to allow that to just be stolen out her car, they didn't even break in. They didn't even have to do no hard work. They just had to break the window and then get it from under her seat. I'm like, sister, okay, like sister. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope that was helpful. I hope. I'm so sorry. I got all like whatever the fuck. And I don't necessarily apologize for getting emotional. I just want to make sure I don't say the wrong thing while emotional. That's always my goal, right? Because you can always say some wrong shit. Um, she ain't no man about them suppress. She don't. The folks in Nashville will be supportive. I believe that. I believe that. I can't like if you see me and let's just do shots or something. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just hug it out. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really not sure what I need from y'all this weekend. I just need y'all to be present. That's what I need. So I love y'all. And if you don't know what we're talking about a regular gun tuber awards happening this weekend. And I am the host. I'm super excited about it. And it's going to be a big deal. And I'm just so proud of the effort that has been made. Shout out to RGG. Shout out to Carbon Q. Shout out to Fat Guys with Guns, Big Zach. Shout out to Big Dre. Shout out to everybody that's like, shout out to my main man, Billy, my fly family, my wonderful co-host. Um, so I'm just grateful. I really am to be a part of such a dynamic moment in time. And so that's what we're going to celebrate. Okay. So that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I really, truly hope you stay trained and tactical in these streets. I hope your situational awareness is level orange or level red. I really do. And if you don't know what that means, Google the color codes of awareness. Okay. Um, um, if any of you are in Tulsa, Oklahoma, please let me know. I'm new to the area and state. Okay, you can go to my sister's Keeper's Defense on Instagram. Her name is Tig, and then in her bio, she has a directory. So I'm sure there's some stuff in. I need range therapy like yesterday. When I tell you like yesterday, and I was thinking about like going out, but I was like, I just want to get it in with y'all this weekend. I really do. That's what we coming there for, to let out some steam, release some stress. So I'm gonna save all of that bottled up frustration and pent up whatever, and we're gonna get it in this weekend. We're getting it in. Okay. So yeah, so go to my sister's Keeper's Defense on Instagram, click the link in her bio. She has a directory of black instructors, and you should be able to find something in Oklahoma. Okay. So I will see you guys this weekend. I love you so freaking much, for real, for real. I hope you hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you real, real soon. Okay. Gang, gang.